Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever your time zone is. Hello. My friend, he bought a new knife. It's a Cold Steel Counterpoint 2. A little small for my taste, a little small for his taste, but yet it fills a role. And I'm going to talk about that. I already basically talked to him about what role that's going to fill, because it's diminutive. I mean, it's a small knife. As sub 4-inch blades go, I have one that I like to carry, and that's because it's my preference. I will be getting the Counterpoint 1, which is the larger version of this. It has a 4-inch blade. But this is what I have on hand right now, thanks to my friend, so I'm going to review it. Alright, looking down at the top, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it as I come to these things. We've got dual thumb studs. These are pretty grippy. They have ridges, which are, rather nice. Engages your thumb really well. Might tear your thumb up, depending on how sensitive you are to that. That may or may not matter. The blade thickness here is 3.5 millimeters. It's centered well, if that matters. Probably shouldn't, because based on the locking mechanism, that's not surprising. Stainless steel pocket clip, could be mounted right or left. Tip up only. It's got a recess for it, so the pocket clip is pretty secure. In fact, I want to mention that as a negative right now. It comes really, really tight. And if you clip this to your pocket, when you try to pull it out rapidly, it's going to pull your pocket up with it. I would gap that a little bit, and I'm going to recommend that to my friend and anybody watching this. Handle is made of Grivery, which is a dense thermoplastic, similar to Zytel. Same kind of concept, extremely strong, extremely lightweight, and the weight on the knife is 2.2 ounces. So it weighs practically nothing. You forget it's there. It's got some holes. These aid in grip retention as well as being aesthetically pleasing and reducing the already non-existent weight. It's got forward guard. Well, it's upside down, but let's turn that over here. Alright, it's got a forward guard. Got your thumb ramp here, you got your finger choil here. It's not going to be a problem to hold on to it. The blade, you can snap it open, but it requires moderate force due to the incredibly strong lock spring of the triad lock. I won't get into the triad lock, but it was designed by Andrew Demko. It's robust, it's extremely strong. This knife is never going to close on you unless you accidentally disengage the lock bar. Enough said. Up at the pommel, which I must say, if you look at the flare here, it looks like a Tylite series or any other Italian stiletto. Except we got a scallop where the thumb can rest. If you stand up here, I'll show you guys how that works right now in our grip display. Right, here's your saber grip. So the finger rests in there securely, thumb rests here securely. Palm reinforces the flare at the pommel. If we go forward grip edge up, we get almost the same exact effect. If we go hammer grip, doesn't matter how we're holding on to it, secure grip, your hand is not going to be sliding up onto the blade, which obviously is a plus. It's a folding boot dagger, or folding boot knife as it's described. The spine meets about halfway down the blade, comes up to a swedge. The spine, the ridge that runs up the center line of the blade, it meets at the point extremely well, which is unusual for a lot of knives. It used to be impossible for a knife manufactured in Taiwan to accomplish that, but on a dagger or spear point, anything that has a swedge where there's a ridge that meets at the point, it's a very aesthetically displeasing to see when it does not meet perfectly. This is a great job. I mean, there's a little bit of variation, but it's minute enough that you wouldn't be able to tell. So the production process in Taiwan that Cold Steel is incorporating is spot on. Nothing bad to say about that. So if you couldn't carry a larger folder and you had to stick with 3 inches or under, this would be superb. For the grip retention purposes, it's incredible lightweight. The fact that it works in many different grips, it prevents your hand from slipping. Balance, why even talk about it? It weighs 2.2 ounces. You can't even feel it anyways, so it just moves with your hand naturally. You wouldn't want this. I mean, it's small, but you wouldn't want to be slashed in the face. You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this. And that, I talk about the weapon use. I've had a few comments about, well, knives are tools, use a gun, blah, blah, blah. It's not always an option. And sometimes if the gun is an option, something happens, Murphy's Law. It's always good to have a backup plan. If you can't have a big backup folder, why not or if you can't have a fixed blade, why not have a folder? If you can't have a big folder, why not have a small folder? You get it. I mean, heck, I'd prefer to carry my ASP, my expandable baton on me as an option too, but that's just not okay here. So you got to consider all your options and find the best respected product to meet your needs. This is a good one for a sub 4-inch folder. I would carry it with confidence. It's great peace of mind. So that's it. Counterpoint 2, Cold Steel. 2 thumbs up, highly recommended. Thanks for watching, everyone.